right, so I am excited to talk about this, but I've yet to come up with a new song for you. So I'm going to go, we love Tonya. Oh, yes, we do. All right, Tonya. We love Tonya. We love her true. Because you help us find homes for her. And you know what? I noticed the politics the other day. Good morning, Tonya.
Good morning, Rudy.
The politics the other day, and we're not talking politics on it, but they were saying something about, we're going to give $25,000 for people to buy houses. We're going to knock down this to buy houses. And then all of a sudden, I see the Fed drops the rate. You're listening to the Tonya Harbin Real Estate Hour, brokered by Real Tonya Harbin. So really, it went down. Tell us, did it really go down?
It went down 0.5%, 50 basis points.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Man, that's time to start getting in there and buy houses. Do you have anybody with buying,
Yeah, we had somebody, before the Fed did this, so I guess this was on Tuesday, and they did an FHA loan and pre-approved at 5.25. So, there's a lot of people getting pre-approved in the low fives, especially if they're doing government loans. So, a VA loan, that is if you are in the military, no money down, low interest rate, or an FHA loan. So, FHA loan, a lot of first-time home buyers do this, 3.5% down, and that's where we had somebody locked in at 5.25 earlier in the week.
No, you didn't. Wow.
They're getting a lot lower, which, helps on affordability for your monthly payment. So if you look, whenever they were almost 8% versus 5.25, depending on the price of home that you are purchasing, that could be a couple $100 off of your mortgage payment. Quite a bit.
A couple $100, seriously? Yeah. And then you multiply that times 12 months for a year, times 30 years the mortgage. You're saving a bank load.
Yeah, interest rates really do affect your payment. And I will say too, if you locked in an interest rate, we're getting a lot of calls about, people that were at 7.5%, almost 8%, should they refinance yet? I would maybe wait a little bit, to the spring and see what happens. But of course, that's always a gamble. You never know.
All right, so let's continue with the interest rate. The Feds went down. Mm-hmm. Are they going to continue going down? Do you think? Do you feel it? Does Tonya got the vibe?
Here is what I have heard. The inside scoop.
Shh, nobody say anything.
So one of people on my team, they went to the National Association of Realtor meeting probably a month ago, and they had said, the Feds were going to drop the rates in September, and then also probably the day after the election.
Really?
So we'll see what happens.
All right. After the election, it's a little late, isn't it?
I know, right? Yeah.
We don't know. All right, so just so long as we're able to buy homes.
Yeah, this is good because for so long they've been saying that interest rates wouldn't drop at all this year. At first, let's go back to last year. They did say they would drop, and then they didn't. They went up. And then they've said, okay, they're not going to drop at all this year. So it's good. They're back. A lot of people have been in the low fives.
All right, so we're getting back into the low fives. The inventory, though, that's the main issue. That's the big problem. Inventory, we need it. Are there any more homes out there? You loaded up last month. I remember you hit a grand slam.
Yeah, there's still lots of homes on the market, many to choose from if you want new construction, or a pre-owned home. So there's lots of different houses to choose from.
Pre-owned still the popular one? Everybody going for that?
It's just dependent on what you're looking for, Some people want more space, so they may buy an older home. Some people want, newer appliances, new AC, all the different things. So just kind of depends on what you are looking for in a home, but lots of them out there.
Well, I will tell you this, that I do know for a fact, and I've learned it from you all these years. Thank you for your guidance and your leadership. And I'm not saying that here at Tonya because, we work together once a week and spend. But Tonya, you've been phenomenal at saying, Rudy, you want to do this, you want to do that. My daughter, who finally moved into my parents' house, and I was like, no. And she's like, yes, Daddy, we're going to do it. And I did not realize it because it hadn't been lived in. So if you've got a family member that passed away and left you their house and nobody's lived in it, even if it's just been for a year, 2 years, or like mine, it's been nearly 5 years since Dad passed away and 15 years since Mom passed away. Well, in 5 years, we hadn't really been in there. And if I turned on the water faucet for just a little bit, it would dribble out a little bit and, I'd get what I needed. And do you know how much work it takes to get a house ready to sell or even to be lived in again? All because it's got 2 bathrooms and a kitchen, all the faucets in the sinks. In the bathrooms, you had 2 sets of faucets, the shower and the sink, and then the toilets needed the inside plumbing. There was a ton of plumbing to do, and then they got to go check the attic for the wiring to make sure the little squirrely guys weren't up there nibbling on something. Oh, and
it's a lot on a house whenever they sit vacant for a while. So it's really better for somebody to live in the house.
Just jump in it and start living in it. They literally have been scraping walls and painting and cleaning and carrying out. I could not believe the amount of money it takes to get a house ready to go again. And you have teams that do all that, don't you?
Yes, we can help you with any of that because it's a lot whenever you have had a house sit vacant or if you're even getting ready to sell a house. I've sold several homes personally, and so I know how stressful it is in the process.
So
HGTV makes it look really easy.
No, it's not.
But it's a lot of stress.
And you brought a special guest with you, and this is where we make the transition because I want to bring it up. You're going, how does homes and nonprofits work together? There is one nonprofit organization that I've worked with time and time and time again to help some of our military families and our retirees when they need help. I seem to recall one year we went from house to house of military retirees that were, I hate to say it, really old and couldn't be getting on a ladder or a step stool to put up the, the fire alarm, and then there's a gas detector of some kind. You can tell me all about that. I don't know what they're called. But we went out with firefighters, and the Dias We Care team came in and said, we'll take care of all that. They helped fund a lot of they brought in the workers. We got into these people's homes, and we found that it wasn't just the, the gas thing that detects gasoline or your gas leak, from the stove.
Monoxide.
The carbon monoxide. See, ta-da! There goes Tonya again, out of the park. Carbon monoxide detectors, and we did not know that. Well, that bathroom doesn't work because you jiggle this thing, and I was like, wow. So that summer we spent with a nonprofit because I promised them that I'd go with them from one house to the next, and then they'd tell their neighbors or somebody would tell their friend who told, well, my grandma and grandpa need help, and all of a sudden, boom, we're in need of nonprofits that can volunteer their services or their goods to help us out. And today, you brought somebody really special with you, Miss Tonya, from the Community Foundation of Abilene, which I love you guys. You guys do a lot of great work. Michelle Parrish!
Yes,
Michelle Parrish!
Love you right back.
Michelle
right
Parrish!
back.
See, 3 cheers right there. You're the grant director.
Yes, sir.
You help out with a lot of charities. In other words, you are a nonprofit, a 501c3, but at the same time, there's a lot of 501c3s that come to so a nonprofit goes to a nonprofit to get help?
You got it. That's exactly how it works.
How does that work?
We are a local community grant maker. So we're a public community foundation. So anyone can provide funds to us that we then use, sometimes even invest and see them grow. And then from that growth, we use those funds to grant back to local nonprofits. So it's a great relationship between nonprofits and donors and meeting community needs.
So when somebody donates to the community foundation, and we can, right?
You sure can.
Where is what's that called, QR code? You got to have a QR code.
There's QR codes everywhere. Where's to my QR code today. Go to our website, cfabilene.org. That's the perfect place to start. You can do a search by funds. We actually have about 600 different funds that have been established at the foundation. Now, not all of them might be appropriate or interested for you. You might not be interested in giving to those funds, but there's a fund for the arts, there's a fund for animals, there's a fund for just basic needs that you could contribute to. And then we are the platform behind a large giving day. You might have heard of it. It's called Abilene Gives.
Yeah,
once a year
participate
we do that.
every year.
That's right. We are the kind of the strength behind that. But Abilene Gives is always the first Tuesday in May, where we invite local nonprofits to set up a profile, and it's a 24-hour or 12-hour, most recently, day of giving, where anyone can go online and contribute to their favorite nonprofits. Last year, we had 174-ish local nonprofits that participated in Abilene Gives.
All right, so I'm going to tell you this, and she's probably going to start turning 3 shades of red, but Tonya Harbin, Real Estate Brokered by Real, is not a nonprofit until you start working with Tonya Harbin and you understand, and she's going to make me cry again, the good she does for our community. There was a lot of horses that needed some help at one time. And not only did they take those horses and put them back to use because they were being abused or left, without food, this organization grabbed these horses, and Tonya puts together, Amanda and Caleb and the entire Tonya Harbin team put this fantastic garage sale, gave all the money to them, and then I found out those horses are being used to help kids with special needs.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling I know of where they went.
Yeah.
I think I know of this group.
So as you are looking at nonprofits, how can a community foundation of Abilene look at some like Tonya Harbin, Real Estate Brokered by Real? She's a real estate agent. She's got to make money. The employees have to make the team. Excuse me, I didn't call them employees. Please forgive me, team. The team, they have to pay their bills and they got to pay their rents and house payments and all. How can you take businesses and get them to work together? Because I can tell you, other charities, other nonprofits where Tonya helps out and gives.
Yes. I love that question, because not only is it important for people to, write checks. We know checks are important. I think the most important thing that anyone can do, whether it be a business owner or the leader of a team, is to think about how you get your team plugged into the community as volunteers. There's things that you can do as a team that if you work on a project together, if it's an 8-hour project, I know my team and we scrubbed some walls at Day Nursery one year for fun. It was a day of service. It was a ton of fun.
Did you see my name on the wall?
I know that was you. It's just the idea of kind of getting dirty together and doing something to benefit someone else that didn't necessarily cost you any money, maybe some time away from your job, but it's team building. Volunteering is a great way to give back.
I have often thought of coming up with an event, a nonprofit event, and it's going to sound weird. We can edit this out if you want it later. But the show when it's live, it's live. But I want to bring it out there because you just mentioned it. I wanted to put together Let's Get Dirty Together team. And then we go out and help clean Abilene.
There are some other groups that would totally get behind that, Rudy. And even what you described with Dias We Care team, there's another organization in town called Friends for Life that does exact same thing for seniors and low income and people who are disabled. So if you need light bulbs changed, if you need your yard mowed, if you're getting turned into the city because your grass hasn't been mowed, but yet you physically can't do it, then you can call on this group who leverages volunteers, like people in the community or people through the Dias We Care team, to just come in and make a difference in a space. I think we could probably all pinpoint some neighborhoods that need some love. And if we could really focus a lot of volunteer time in one geographic space, if we all just went into a couple of blocks in North Abilene, maybe we would really lift that up.
Wouldn't it be awesome for a month in spring? Hey, Tonya, the Tonya Harbin Real Estate Spring Month. Everybody springs into action, and we're all going to get dirty together. We're going to get out there and scrub Abilene clean. Tonya, you got
so much fun.
All right, Amanda! No. She's like, oh yeah, we'll do this. All right, so how do you go do you go looking for businesses to become part of the community foundation?
I think from my position, we're always just listening. We are connectors. So I think my role at the foundation is kind of a liaison to the nonprofits. So I come from nonprofit world, and I know those are my people. I love those folks. I love what they're doing. And so I'm meeting with them often, hearing about reading their grant applications and listening for particular needs that perhaps can't be met through a grant. And then on the other side of that, our team is meeting with donors and fund holders and people that think they want to provide money or time or volunteer hours to make a difference, but perhaps they don't know where to plug in. And so the Community Foundation really is the connection between needs and donors, and how do we get those people together? Yeah, donors could be a business, it could be an individual, it could be a church. We work with a lot of different churches who are looking for perhaps better ways to use their money instead of handing it out on the steps. So we're just that connector. We're the go-between.
All right, so I'm going to ask, where are the needs in Abilene? What is the biggest need for a charity or a nonprofit? Is it okay to call them charities in today's woke world?
They are technically a public charity under IRS guidelines, so It's perfectly appropriate to say that. Yeah.
So these nonprofits, what do we need the most of in Abilene? What are we short of? The other cities, because community cfabilene.org, but if you want to go to cf, anothercity.org, what is it that we're missing in Abilene?
That's a really great question. And yes, there are community foundations all across the country. I think I'm going to give you some insider information.
cfabilene.org. That's cfabilene.org. Donate today. Okay.
We just recently received and reviewed our fall grant slate. So all of the nonprofits in Abilene can apply for grant funding either in the fall or in the spring. Many of them, come through those cycles. So we've just reviewed those that are now applying in that fall slate. And I'm seeing a trend that we haven't seen before. 5 of our 39 applicants are all related to food costs. So they're food pantries, they're food providers. In some ways, it has to do with food insecurity and the rising costs of food. So while there are and have been well-established programs that meet that basic need of food, even those groups are seeing 8, 10, 13% increases in their food costs. And while we have a great resource with the West Texas, the Food Bank of West Central Texas, they can provide and do provide a lot of food to those pantries to then distribute to the public. They are even more limited because the demand is so much higher. So this is the first time I've been in this role for 11 years, and this is the first time we've ever had this many applications at one time, all related to increased food costs.
Tonya, this comes back in. She's talking about food costs. I'm telling you right now, I'm going through it at my house. Yes, I'm a broadcaster. Yes, I make a decent living, but at the same time, I'm still trying to pay off my house. My bills have gone through the roof. My electric bill is killing me. Everything. The prices of homes, are you seeing them coming down, or are they still going up? I love the fact that mine went up. I mean, I only paid 80 some odd thousand for it, and now it's worth over 200 and some odd. I mean, you get the idea?
We're not really seeing them go down. We're seeing sellers paying for a little bit more, like in-seller concessions.
All right, so it's okay.
Now your payment is going to be going down because the interest rates went down.
Yeah. We need to keep pushing.
Everything is expensive. I mean, food's expensive. I mean, homeowners insurance is skyrocketed. And that makes a thing too for people that are renting a home. Rents have gone up because the owner's payments have gone up because of homeowners insurance too. So there's just all the different pieces that hurts people.
All right, so everything's going up. Let's talk about this. In the fact that the food prices are going up. Do you grocery shop at all, Michelle?
I do a little eating. I do a little shopping. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen the price of eggs this last week?
All right. That's what I'm going to ask.
I can, really get on a sale.
All right. So what's the one thing that surprised you at the grocery store?
Gosh, an 18-pack of eggs was $5.57.
Oh my gosh.
I just could not get over it.
Did you?
I don't know.
Tonya, look at her eyes.
I mean, I don't go grocery shopping. My husband does.
Yes.
And That's insane.
It was crazy, right? The same experience with my husband.
I mean,
He
how much
doesn't
is a
do
chicken?
any shopping, so he didn't know. Yeah, too much. It's all expensive.
All right, so I went to the grocery store with my wife over the weekend, and it was a learning experience. Wow, the prices of everything, I'm still trembling. But the one thing that caught my attention, she's complaining, the eggs. Oh my gosh, look at the price of the eggs. I better go should I go for the extra large or large? I said, they don't got the weight on them, honey. They're by the dozen or 18 count. Anyway, so we get into the produce and I go, oh yeah, let's go because this is I'm going, bananas, what? Have you priced bananas lately? Well, you could buy bananas for $10, 10 cents a pound. Or you can get 10 pounds for 25 cents. You know what I'm talking about. It's practically a giveaway. I was looking at bananas and going, I'm going to pay $5 for these. And there was like 7 bananas on it.
Are you kidding?
No.
I guess I need to go to the grocery store.
Don't go. It'll make you sad. It'll make you sad.
You will be sad.
Bananas were always one of the cheapest things, and eggs. That you could buy. When I was in college, we ate eggs a lot because they were cheap.
Right. They are for sure a staple. And, there are staples that communities track as indicators for the health of their community, and eggs, milk, bread, like some of those basic necessities are on the rise.
Well, I'm a big fruit and vegetable eater. I like to eat them raw and all that. But I've gone to buying the canned fruit. That fruit cocktail in the can. I drink the juice out of it and eat the fruit because it's a lot cheaper that way. I get my bananas, my pineapples, and everything else all in one little can. So, and yes, how many organizations do we have? I know we have a lot of churches that are offering the hidden pantries. I know one church that's got a hidden pantry, and what it is, they make it available to the people that need to know if you need food and you need groceries. And then I find out that some of the schools are helping send some groceries home with some kids because kids are not eating at home.
Yeah, those are called care packs. They're distributed through Love and Care Ministries. It's a really cool partnership that started between Love and Care and Abilene ISD, but because there was such a demand from other school districts, they came in and asked could they please participate too, and Love and Care graciously agreed, but now the program has skyrocketed. So there's a huge demand for kids to have access to food over the weekends, and it's a cool program because they provide that food in a way that still gives that kiddo some dignity. On a Friday afternoon, no one's handing them a trash bag full of food to take home, like here's your freebie, go make do for the weekend. Instead, it's shared back with that kid in a way that their friends don't have to know that they are receiving it or that they might be in need. And a lot of times there are extra things tucked in there when there's a sibling at home, and so it's a really great program.
I've worked with Mark Hewitt quite often, and they also have where the moms and dads come in and can go grocery shopping in the pantry. So they've turned that pantry to look like a grocery store so the little guys that are in school don't know that they're going to get, and that's the help we need. So once again, Community Foundation, do you help?
We do. We have grants that support those programs. Again, nonprofits apply for funding year-round, and we have a volunteer committee that reviews those applications and then makes grant awards. So this year we expect to grant out between our 2 cycles about $1.2 million just to local nonprofits that are serving in Abilene. And I'll give you some context. I've been at the foundation, like I said, about 11 years. And when I started 11 years ago, that total was about $330,000. So in that amount of time, it's grown to $1.2 million. And we expect it to continue to grow because we have donors that have given funds, we have partners that come in to meet those needs, and anyone can actually see those list of grant projects twice a year in our fall and spring cycle, and the general public or a business or a donor can make a gift toward those vetted projects each year. You can see them on our website. So those projects for the fall cycle that I just mentioned will be online, probably in the next 7 days, and anyone could see them. But yeah, 5 of the current applicants are all related to food needs in Abilene. But there's a lot of cool stuff
So
happening.
with food needs, is that like they're donating money to get food or bringing food?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Both.
think. It's both. So 2 of them are direct service food pantries, and so the pantries have been accessing food through different sources, but their costs have gone up so much they can't provide as much, so they're looking for additional funds to buy more food. One of the food pantries, there's actually only one or maybe two pantries in town that offers access to hygiene items. So if you needed shampoo or adult diapers or any kind of, basic hygiene item, they'll also offer that through the food pantry. Thing is, USDA and some of those grant programs won't allow them to use that money to buy that type of thing and distribute, so they have to raise private donations in order to provide those types of goods to people who come in. So that's another example of a food pantry who's requesting funds. So there is a significant need. Essential needs and basic needs are always, a top funding priority for the foundation and for those volunteer committees that make the decisions. It's just a little surprising to me this year. Food really stands out.
Yeah, food has really gone through the roof, and I've also noticed that Meals on Wheels added something to their name. They're now Meals on Wheels Plus, because the plus is a lot of these elderly people that they're feeding, that, I get emotional, are taking care of animals.
Yes, they have an incredible program, and it's a partnership through, I hope I say this right, the Texas Veterinary Foundation, maybe? I think they're out of Austin. But they actually regularly apply in Austin.
One of the dog food companies donates a ton of food.
And they get grant funding from the CFA to allow those clients to not only access food, but medical care for their vet, or for their animal. So if your little dog needs something, some kind of medical procedure, and you can't pay for it, you're a Meals on Wheels client, they have a little fund that they can pull from to get your animal to the vet and get them cared for. We acknowledge, pets are people. They are family members, and so
absolutely.
And when you're alone, perhaps living alone,
you need somebody, and your animal is your family.
What if that animal is an emotional therapy animal?
Right.
So there you go. All right, before we run out of time, and you help with all these organizations.
Yeah, we help support through funding.
My last question that I have is very important, because you can go to CF Abilene, Community Foundation of Abilene, cfabilene.org, and you got the QR codes in there and stuff like that. If I want to donate to give money to food, is there a way to do that? Say, I want you to redirect my money toward the pantries and stuff.
The best way to do that now will be to go to cfabilene.org, and you'll see a list of those current grant projects, and you can pick and choose. It's kind of like online grant shopping. Read through those reviews. There'll be a little summary, and you can pick
Tonya,
and choose.
we love shopping. Woo!
Online shopping, I'm pretty great at it. Ask my husband.
Oh, yes.
That credit card goes quick. But you can just, you can use a credit or a debit card or an ACH, and you can make a gift toward any of those projects. So go on there. You might find something else that even speaks to you more personally. Maybe something else.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break down, but it hurts, It's kind of like my October month thing that I want to do with moms and kids. With that said, Tonya, you got a weekend full of showing homes, don't you?
Yes, we do.
And I need to know that, Obansky, what's his name? I haven't seen him in the studio
Zach
here.
Or Jack,
Zach?
I don't know.
Is it Zach? Oh, Zach Obansky. So is he going to be out anywhere this weekend?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm always looking for him because he's got that coffee tray.
I mean, it's almost winter time, so I'm sure he'll have the coffee out soon.
And he'll be out feeding us. All right. Any homes that stick out in your mind right now that we need to go look at?
I have a beautiful one that I just listed. It is on Windsor, in the Bercalo area. And it has the prettiest pool. I mean, that's our front picture. It's beautiful. And it's $300,000. 3 bedrooms, 2
Really?
baths. Yes.
It's not very big, right?
It's about 2,000,
Oh, that's good.
2,100 square feet, something
A lot
like that.
smaller than what we've got.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get into a tiny house for my wife and I.
Yeah.
Means I got to clean less.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Downsizing can be good.
All right, so there you go. Tonya Harbin Real Estate, brokered by Real. If we want to find out what my property's worth, you offer a free service.
We do. You just go on our website, tonyaharbin.com, and press the pink button and find out what my home is worth.
I always say push the pink button and it'll turn to green.
That's right.
Absolutely. Tonya Harbin Real Estate. You'll find her at TonyaHarbin.com, TonyaHarbin.com, or better yet, Facebook at Tonya Harbin Team. And then you can start packing because you're going to be moving soon. With that said, ladies, thank you very much. Michelle Parrish, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And once again, to go see her at cfabilene.org. This is KYYW, Abilene, Texas.